It's good to see you again in VNews. I'm Vinh Hằng from Hanoi with the major stories. State President Trương Tấn Sang inspected the implementation of measures to overcome flood consequences in Quảng Ninh province. The 40th ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting officially opened in the Malaysian capital city of Kuala Lumpur. The southern province of Đồng Nai attracted more than $1.1 billion in foreign direct investment in the first 7 months of this year. Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng attended the 85th year anniversary of the first publication of the Communist Review, the theoretical and political agency of the Communist Party of Vietnam.
Speaking at the ceremony, Editor-in-Chief Vũ Văn Phúc stressed that throughout its history, the newspaper has grown in stature, contributing to disseminating and defending Marxism-Leninism and Ho Chi Minh's thought, as well as political education and party theory development. Looking back at the past 30 years of national renewal, it has been at the forefront of spreading party policies, state laws, core issues regarding party building and social, economic, cultural affairs, and national defense, security, and diplomacy. Its collection of theoretical studies has provided evidence and reference for policy making, he added. In his speech, Politburo member Đinh Thế Huynh, Secretary of the Party Central Committee and head of the Party Central Committee's Commission for Popularization and Education, called on the review staff to recommend ideas for policy making based on theory and realities at home and abroad. For the foreseeable future, it was asked to prepare documents for submission to the 12th National Party Congress and improve the quality of each article. On behalf of party and state leaders, Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng presented the Ho Chi Minh Order to the Communist Review.
Given devastating floods that wreaked havoc in northern provinces, State President Trương Tấn Sang on August 4th led a delegation to inspect the implementation of measures to overcome the consequences in Quảng Ninh, the hardest hit locality from the disaster.
Provincial leaders briefed the state president on the consequences caused by the floods. To date, the death toll has climbed to 17, while 30 others have been injured. Total damage was estimated at more than 2,700 billion dong. The historical torrential rains and floods of the last 40 years have submerged couples of cities and towns, blocking a number of roads. The devastating floods have also pulled down almost 440 houses and left about 30,000 miners temporarily jobless. The province had already evacuated more than 2,000 households and moved stranded tourists on Koto Island to safe places. It also disbursed 5 billion dong to assist the miners. Sharing sympathy with Quảng Ninh over the big losses, President Trương Tấn Sang urged the provincial authorities to take drastic measures to stabilize local people's life as soon as possible, maintain production activities, and ensure no more deaths. The ongoing downpour of the last week has claimed a total of 34 lives and caused losses worth thousands of billions of Vietnamese dong in northern mountainous provinces. The torrential rains continued in Quảng Ninh and Hải Phòng on August 4th and is forecast to fall over much of the country throughout the day. In Điện Biên, over 230 houses and 77 water supply stations were damaged, while nearly 900 hectares of rice and crops were submerged underwater. Landslides occurred at dams in Bắc Giang and on 30 sections of national and provincial highways in Lạng Sơn. Other provinces have also been badly affected by floods, washing away bridges, roads, houses, and cattle in various villages. Affected localities are working to resume traffic flow on major roads, communication and utility services, and flush water out of irrigation facilities.
The 48th ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting officially opens in the Malaysian capital city of Kuala Lumpur on August 4th, with the attendance of foreign ministers from 10 Southeast Asian countries. The Vietnamese delegation was led by Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Phạm Bình Minh.
In his opening speech, Malaysian Foreign Minister Anifah Aman said the formation of the ASEAN community at the end of this year will bring new opportunities to people in the ASEAN member countries and the world as well. With commitments to continue maintaining peace, stability and development in the region, the establishment of the ASEAN community will enable the association to realize its dream of prosperity and freedom, to cope with the present threats and challenges, he said. The community will also help the ASEAN become stronger while hosting a more open market for enterprises, ensuring healthcare access to all people, increasing education opportunities, and developing a sustainable environment, Anifah added. Regarding the East Sea issue, the Malaysian Foreign Minister stressed that the ASEAN could play an important role in settling the disputes in a peaceful and cooperative manner. The association has made positive initial steps. More actions should be conducted. Addressing the event, Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak said the 10-nation bloc is rushing to realize the goal of establishing the ASEAN community by the end of 2015. This will be a huge step towards making the ASEAN a new and increasingly developed region, he noted. On the sidelines of the 48th ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting, Vietnamese Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Phạm Bình Minh had a meeting with his Cambodian counterpart Ho Nam Hong. Minh affirmed that Vietnam always treasures the neighboring friendship and traditional cooperation with Cambodia. Relating to the border issue, Deputy Prime Minister Phạm Bình Minh urged both sides to seek measures to resolve the remaining problems in order to accomplish the border demarcation and planting of border markers as soon as possible. On his part, Deputy Prime Minister Ho Nam Hong agreed with Minh's proposals. The Cambodian leader held that the two sides need to coordinate and cooperate closely in border management so that this issue will not affect the traditional cooperation between Cambodia and Vietnam. The same day, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Phạm Bình Minh met with Philippine Secretary of Foreign Affairs Albert Del Rosario. The two sides agreed to increase the exchange of delegations at all levels in the time to come and actively prepare for the trip to the Philippines by Vietnamese State President Trương Tấn Sang to attend the APEC Summit meeting. They concurred to soon organize the 8th session of the Vietnam-Philippines Cooperation Committee while boosting bilateral cooperative ties in a wide range of fields, including politics, economy, security and defense, and agriculture. At the meeting, the two sides also discussed matters related to cooperation within the ASEAN as well as the East Sea issue.
A Vietnamese delegation led by Lieutenant General Đỗ Kim Tuyến, Deputy Head of the General Police Directorate under the Ministry of Public Security, attended the 35th Conference of the ASEAN Chiefs of Police, or ASEANPOL, in Indonesia on August 4th.
Addressing the opening ceremony, Indonesian Vice President Yusuf Kala spoke highly of the role played by the ASEAN nations' police forces in maintaining a peaceful environment in each country and the whole region. He emphasized the need for bilateral and multilateral cooperation mechanisms and to share experience and intelligence information to raise the operation efficiency of police in the region when dealing with high-tech and transnational crimes. During the three-day event, participants are expected to discuss measures and share experiences to intensify collaboration between ASEAN member countries in combating crimes, especially cross-border violations, and address new challenges in ensuring regional security. ASEAN chiefs of police will approve and sign a joint statement demonstrating the determination and commitment of the police forces of ASEAN members to enhance their capacity in crime prevention.
The southern province of Đồng Nai attracted 57 foreign direct investment projects with a combined registered capital of over $1.1 billion in the first 7 months of this year.
In the reviewed period, 47 existing FDI projects were permitted to receive an additional $139.9 million. Hyosung Corporation from the Republic of Korea has the largest new project with $660 million invested in a textile garment factory in Yeonchak district, followed by Amata Corporation from Thailand with a $282 million project. A number of enterprises from the United Arab Emirates, Singapore, Taiwan, China, and the US have come to the province to study its investment policies and potentials. By the end of July, Dong Nai province was home to more than 1,150 FDI projects worth over $22.7 billion. Taiwan is now the biggest investor in the locality with 278 projects valued at nearly $4.9 billion, followed by the Republic of Korea with $4.7 billion and Japan with $3.5 billion.
The Vietnam Association of Victims of Agent Orange and the National Humanity Portal co-hosted a program entitled Joining Hands to Relieve the Pains of Agent Orange Victims on August 4th, in order to call for more assistance to victims of this toxic chemical.
From 2011 to 2014, the program has received over 700,000 text messages, accumulating up to 12 billion Vietnam dong, equivalent to $550,000 in donation for the victims of Agent Orange dioxin. In 2014 alone, the text donation system raised at least 2 billion Vietnam dong, some $91,000. Part of the sum was used to provide 100 scholarships, build 12 houses, and 2 care centers for the victims. The party and state will begin donating gifts to the first generation of victims of Agent Orange dioxin. Moreover, other associations, both domestic and international, will give out hundreds of thousands of donation packages in support as well. According to the association statistics, over 4.8 million Vietnamese people were exposed to Agent Orange dioxin, of whom nearly 3 million are suffering the effects of the toxic chemical, including 150,000 children of second and third generations.
An exclusive adventure tour to explore Sơn Dong Cave in Quang Binh Province, the largest of its kind in the world, is opening for bookings for 2016 and will accept only 500 tourists.
Oxalis Adventure Tours, the sole tour organizer permitted to enter the cave, said that Quang Binh authorities have allowed the travel agency to continue organizing tours to the cave in 2016. The company will have to maintain the same itinerary and number of tours, with a maximum number of 500 tourists in total. Accordingly, each tour lasts for 5 days and 4 nights, with 10 people at maximum. In 2016, the cave will be opened from January to August as usual to avoid bad weather. An exclusive tour needs about 25 people, including porters, a cook, a tour guide, 2 cave experts, and 2 park rangers. Sơn Dong Cave, which scientists believe was formed 2 to 5 million years ago, was first discovered by a local resident in 1991. In 2009, a group of British scientists from the British Cave Research Association prepared the cave for public access in a limited capacity after extensively surveying the area. Sơn Dong is at least 6.5 km long, 200 meter wide, and at least 150 meter high. Its largest chamber is a whopping 250 meter high, enough to accommodate a 40-story skyscraper.
The Bulletin-based Wonderlist recently ran a post citing Sapa among top 10 most magical places in Asia. We have more in the following.
Sapa, a resort town in Vietnam's northern mountainous province of Lào Cai, is now in every guidebook, said Wonderlist. The people from the mountainous villages have become accustomed to tourism, and business-minded sell their goods in their colorful and strange alien-looking costumes. Nevertheless, Sapa is still a special place, as most Vietnamese people are also the mountain rice people. In the steep slopes of the mountains, there have beaten narrow-layered rice terraces, slide by slide, that stretch for miles in all directions. The list of 10 most magical places in Asia also includes Siem Reap and Angkor Wat in Cambodia, Varanasi in India, and Lhasa in Tibet.
And that has wrapped up our daily bulletin. Thank you for tuning in, and goodbye for now.